the single defining characteristic that separates great men from average men is consistency. Look, there are going to be some times when you are building and you're trying to make something special, you're trying to do something different to all your family members, to all of your bloodline. You want to build a great life and you're doing something unique where you're low on motivation. You're struggling. You're not seeing the fruit of your labor. You've been putting in all these hours, you've been working so hard, burning the midnight oil, and you're not seeing the results that you were hoping to have seen. Now, a lot of guys find themselves in this situation feeling very demoralized. It's natural. When we put in a lot of work and we don't see a lot on the other side, there is that human inclination to start questioning yourself, to start questioning what you're doing, to start questioning the process. But a lot of guys go beyond that and they decide to pack it in and give up. They say, you know what, this particular idea doesn't work. This particular idea is a failure. I need to move on to something different. I need to hop on the latest trend and see if that can make me money quick. So they go on, they quit, they try something new and they hop on the trend. And they do that for a few months. And that goes the same way. They quit that, they try something else, and that goes the same way. And some guys do this for an entire lifetime. Look, the reality is, in order to become truly good at anything, it's going to take some time. Often it's going to take longer than you think. Often when you feel like you're growing tired and you feel like you've given everything that you had to give, there's more to be given and there's more sacrifice to be made. Men who truly understand this grow up to be very successful. They understand the importance of sticking at it even when there's no evidence to suggest that what they're doing is going to work, because they believe in their vision. Now, it's really helpful if you like what you do. I always recommend to guys, like I do myself personally, practice something that you actually enjoy. I like making these videos. It doesn't feel like a job for me. It doesn't feel like something that I have to do. It's out of choice. It's something that I enjoy. I feel like what I talk about is something that I find interesting myself, and I know other guys who are aspirational, ambitious, find it interesting too. But if I didn't care about making these videos, and it wasn't something that I was invested in, maybe there would be a time where I'd considered packing it in and trying something else. Now, in my case, the motivation is not to hop on a trend and hop off. You know, you guys that have been following me, you can see that I've been doing this for years. You can see I've been doing this in like a really unedited way. No thumbnails or anything like that. If I wanted to grow quickly, there are methods to do so. I've opted not to do that because I would like an audience of a very specific type of man. The type of man that's probably watching this video right now. Now look, back to you. If you are doing something, you're working on a project, you're trying something new with your life, you're trying to start a new business, and you don't really care about it, failing that you don't really like it, I think you're going to struggle. Because there are going to be times where you need to stick it out, where you need to dog it out, where you need to be Mr. Consistent. And when motivation runs low, that deep purpose within you, that deep reason as to why you want to do something is going to be the thing that picks you up when you're falling down. Like a safety guard. You know, you're about to fall over, flat on your face, and that glorious purpose keeps you going. And it keeps the machine running. A big reason why a lot of guys struggle for consistency is quite frankly because they don't actually do what they're doing because they like it. They want an outcome. They want a result. And look, money's not a bad thing. You know, money isn't something to run away from. We should all try and make money. We live in a world where you need that. We live in a world where without it, life is hard. So I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I make some money from this. Not a lot. Not a lot at all. If it was a business, it would fail, right? But there's nothing wrong with trying to do something that gets you money. But I would always recommend do something a little bit deeper than that. Do something that you really care about. Do something that you care about beyond money. And that will allow you to be consistent. That will allow you, when the motivation is low, to keep going. You know, you feel like quitting, you feel tired, you feel stressed, you feel deflated. But it doesn't matter, because the bigger picture is far more important than your feelings in the moment. The bigger picture is far more important than those fleeting emotions that come and go. And it's all good talking about consistency. Of just be consistent, come on, don't quit. Be disciplined, keep going, keep pushing. But that is hard to do. I would say almost impossible to do when you don't actually like the thing that you are doing. The foundation of consistency is doing something that you believe in. So you got to ask yourself, if you're not passionate about what you're doing right now, what are you passionate about? And I mean that on a deep level. What change would you like to bring to the world? I would like to help young men level up their habits, level up their lifestyle, develop more confidence. And hey, I say young men, I know some of you guys that watch me are not young men. I'd like to help you too. That was the starting mission of this channel. To try and do that. Now for you, it might be something completely different. I don't know you, I don't know you personally, I don't know your interests, but there will be something. And you've really got to start diving into this. Because that is going to be the thing that allows you to have the consistency. That is going to be the thing that allows you to be a successful man. Because if you don't care about what you do, it's so easy to quit. There's no reason to dog it out. There's no reason to stay up those extra hours, those necessary extra hours. Why would you? But if you care, it's not even a choice. It's like, oh, you're working again? Of course I am. I love what I do. Of course I am. The bigger picture is more important than anything. Now look, a lot of people hate the man, but Elon Musk is a great example of this. I've said this a few times. The guy was called insane for his mission with Tesla. You know, an electric car company in America, do you think that's going to work? You're crazy. You're absolutely insane. And he went on at one point to be the biggest EV provider in the world. You know? And that's because he had a mission for sustainability. Now, a lot of his mission was linked to building a colony on Mars. So you have the electric energy moving away from oils and fossil fuels. And then you have the, you know, spaceship and space element of the mission and other things that he does. But essentially, he had such a deep purpose in regards to electric cars that it didn't even seem like an option to quit. And there are many stories of how close Tesla came to closing down, but the guy just would not stop. He was relentless. And people look at him and they say, you know what, that's Mr. Consistent. But Mr. Consistent doesn't exist without a reason to be consistent. So what is your reason? What is your why? It's okay not to have these answers as well, if you've not thought about this. If it's something you've not considered before, you're not going to have the answer. A little exercise that I recommend. Go and sit yourself in a dark room. Get your phone away from you for about 30 minutes or so. And just think about life. Just think about where you want to be in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 20 years' time, what you want your life to look like, and how you want to get that life. And answers do just start coming to you. That's an exercise that I did, and it put me back on the right track. And it's something, to be honest, is not just a one-time thing. We can all benefit from that. that reflection. So have a think, because without that purpose, without that real motivation, it's hard to develop that consistency. And subsequently, it's hard to become the man that you want to be, because you'll always be flaky. You'll always be a guy who just dips into one thing, then another, then another. He has no real purpose or passion, or he's not really in pursuit of anything. So if you want to change that, figure out what that purpose is. Figure out the impact you want to have, the problems that you want to solve, and the value you want to provide. Okay? Anyway, guys, if you took some value from this video, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you are new around here, comment your thoughts down below, check out the links down below in the description of this video also. As always, guys, thank you for your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one.